And I'm back. The Gary Russen program. Wrapping up this hour of the GRP with about maybe 18 minutes left in this segment. So this will be a short segment, and we're going to continue the Gary Russen program. If you want to be part of the show, I'd love to hear from you. And the chat room, don't forget, you can. I am on Spotify. You can listen to me on Spotify, and come over here to Spreaker. I'm also on Twitter. I'm the Radio Maniac, and when you see that posting, you'll see the thing on the Twitter page there. And very simply put it is that you just get into Twitter. I am the Radio Maniac. You'll see the GJRB online logo next to Antique Radio, and you're right there, and you can leave comments there. You can listen to the show right there, and when you click the title, it'll take you right into the chat room here, and you can talk to me right here on my chat room. It's opened. Also, get a hold of me on Skype. I'm Gary.Russen, and on Facebook, you can contact me by getting a hold of me. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you just get in there on my messenger, hit that call button, and it'll ring in the Spreaker Studios, and I'll put you on the air. Okay, how about that? All right, let's continue the news, and we're going to do a scroll through social media coming up here as we continue the Gary Russen program. And Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has signed a bill to expand the abortion protection in Illinois, and move that comes with some Republican-led states trying to restrict that procedure. The law establishes abortion as a fundamental right for women. Pritzker is a Democrat. He signed the bill Wednesday, surrounded by advocates, and he says Illinois is taking a giant step forward while other states are taking the step backward. And this is a story from our local KWQC Channel 6.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed into law a bill that expands abortion protections in the state. The law establishes abortion as a, quote, fundamental right for women. It also requires insurance coverage for abortions, contraception, and related medical care. Governor Pritzker signed the bill this morning, surrounded by advocates. He says Illinois is taking a giant step forward, while other states are taking a giant step backwards. At least 6 states have recently adopted steep restrictions on abortion.
So there you go. That's what they're doing. They're going to decide that, this is a right, and you can't do anything to violate that right. So what do you think about that? Your comments are welcome in the Spreaker chat room, and Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Well, I gotta quit saying Google+. That doesn't exist anymore. And Google Podcasting, whatever. I'm going to check into that. But anyway, my Facebook, my Twitter, you can get a hold of me on there. Facebook chat room as well. And continue on with the Gary Russen program. We're going to do our temperatures across America coming up. Another weather on the fives in about 10 minutes. And we'll do a local Clinton weather forecast. So that's coming up. And take a look at some of those areas daunted by some severe weather, which is happening at this point. So some of the things that we're going to do. And continue talking here. And play a little music break here from time to time in this last hour. 15 minutes of nonstop talking music continues right here on GJRB Online. Thanks a lot for tuning in to the Gary Russen program here on Spreaker. And what we do now is I'm going to take a little break here and throw in something. Be a tune from my rotation. New emerging artists that we have here on our GJRB site. We've got some really good, talented emerging artists. Speaking of which, speaking of emerging artists, the other day I was at the GJRB Studio 2 up there at the Church of Christ. And my friend Brian Harrison, John Wright, and a few other guys got together and jamming a little jam session on Tuesday. I'm going to upload that after this show, So that's going to be on there. I already had clipped it together, so I'm going to upload that. So I hope you enjoy that. That'll be playing this weekend. And then tomorrow I'll be back on the air with another Gary Russen program. You want to tune in for that? Another Gary Russen program. And we're going to do the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra with Ben Osman will be joining us. And we're going to talk. He apparently is taking a trip up to the Niagara Falls. But he says he possibly could be talking to us anyway. So let's hope for the best on that one. Let's see what happens. I will contact him tonight and confirm it, and I'll let you know tomorrow when we're on the air. And we'll just have a good time tomorrow. We'll do 50 minutes of nonstop talking music, and it'll just be a radical craziness here on GJRB Online. So tune in for that. Okay? Be really fabulous. And a lot of really good things coming up. So keep it here on GJRB Online. We got, let's see, no one in the chat room so far. So I am checking to see. I hope I'm on Spotify. I'm also I need to check that other site too. That one called the Google Podcast. I gotta see if I'm on there. I guess Ed Delgado told me, when I was talking to him yesterday when I did a preview of this show last night, he said I would possibly be on Google Podcast. So I would be great if I'm on another platform. I mean, I had already, and I had to check with the thing to see if I'm actually on there. But I'm hoping maybe we can get some listeners in this hour. So I'm gonna be pumping a little bit on that and taking some music breaks so that I can spread the show around a little bit and see if there's anybody out there in the ether on the internet listening to our broadcast of the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online on a Friday afternoon here on Spreaker across America, the Gary Russen program on GJRB. And I'm going to find some music here. I'm going to go to my new music for, let's go to my recently visited platform, envelopes here. So I know I had some music here. Light under smooth jazz. We could play something out of that one. Something I always liked playing. And get ready for some more stuff here in the Gary Russen program. Get a chance to see if there's anybody out there in Radioland. And let's see here. Go ahead and play Doc Jazz, Right of Return. Be right back. You got more. This is the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online.
Tree, just like you were meant to be. Though your roots dig deep into the land, you were uprooted by a savage hand. But the ties were forged through centuries, the bonds so strong and fixed in history. You are the land, and the land is you. A solid unity they never can undo. Cherish your leaves, let your branches bear your fruits. All you need to do is protect and feed your roots. The old will die, but the young will learn. The road is long, and it will they wrote that vow, but to act on it was not allowed. Empty words like a carrot on a stick. Ink is fading as the clock goes on to tick. Dispossession and racial oppression, every psycho form of Zionist aggression was condoned by that very same force, though they say our rights are still endorsed. We don't need your words, they're just empty talk. Why don't you just keep on talking while we walk the walk? The old have died, but the young are strong. We know who we are and where we belong. With a key in our hand, we'll come home to our land. We know we will always stand for our right of return. Why don't you just keep on talking while we walk the walk? The old have died, but the young are strong. We know who we are and where we belong. With the key in our hand, we'll come home to our land. We know we will always stand for our right of return.
The Weather Return and music there from Doc Jazz on GJRB. Gary J. Russen with you here on the Gary Russen program, Freestyle Friday edition. We'll be taking a break here just a little bit, and we'll be coming back with more of the Gary Russen program here on Spreaker. So I hope you'll tune in. Got more good stuff coming your way here on GJRB online, Clinton, Iowa. Let's do our weather on the fives and see what's going on in nationwide weather from the National Weather Service, and see what's happening weather-wise. We're going to take a look at some of those nasty areas that are getting. They're saying that some areas, especially in the eastern part of the country, we just said Midwest. So we're going to keep an eye on some of that. I'm going to go into my weather channel site here real quick, where I get all the really good weather, which is like the National Weather Service, and pick some various cities and areas where they're having this weather. As I said from the very beginning of the show, at our first break, there's some severe thunderstorms capable of damaging winds, large hail, and heavy rainfall, and a few with tornadoes possible from Texas to the Oklahoma Panhandle, and along that eastern Kansas to eastern Colorado tonight. Severe thunderstorm threat could also expand further east into Saturday, with portions of Missouri, here in Iowa even, Nebraska, with some heavy rainfall, could lead to some possible flash flooding. And I'm looking at some of the areas right now, taking a look at Indiana, northwestern Ohio, and all those areas around there. Taking a look at northern Indiana at this point, and taking a look at that area, northern Indiana. Forecast office, that would be Fort Wayne. 78 degrees for you guys right now under partly cloudy skies in Fort Wayne. Take a look at some of the areas there on the map. Looking at that, it looks like you got some soaking rounds of rain for your area here. Taking a look at some of that. Soaking rounds of rain for most of you Indiana people. Rain arriving after midnight. A low of 59 and a high of 62. Periods of rain and thunderstorms again Saturday, 71 for a high 76, 71 to 76, 73 to 81 on Sunday. And looking at some of the more soaking rain threats, head toward Lima, Ohio, and some of the other spots here, Fort Wayne, Wabash, all those areas are all going to get into some of that rain. In the yellow areas, I imagine that's where most of it's going to be. Take a look at some of the areas that we're going to be interested in. We're going to take a look at some of those areas, getting some of this weather. Don't know exactly what that is. Okay, I'm going to go down a ways. I'm going to take a look at the national weather map here. Taking a look at Cleveland, Ohio, which I have on here. So we're going to go into Cleveland, Ohio's weather map here on Weather Underground and take a look at what you guys got right now. 73 degrees, according to the Lendog station there in Cleveland, Ohio. 73 degrees. You have winds north at 7 miles per hour, and going down the ways, your relative humidity is standing at 39%, which isn't too bad, and your barometer is 29.98 inches of mercury. So we'll take a look at that weather forecast and your area, and we'll do that coming up. It's 5 o'clock right now on GJRB Online. I'm Gary J. Russen. Time for a station break and ID. We'll be right back. The Gary Russen program continues in just a moment on the GJRB Online Network.